Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video today, we're going to go over where you should take up every character in this game. For the most part, we're going to be looking at the top of the list and the bottom of the list. So we're going to look at the characters that you need to take up first versus the characters that you should probably avoid. I do want to preface this and say that my blitz characters, I just blitz my war team, so my war offenses and war defenses. So I know there is... for example, I know there's better war or better blitz teams than what is necessarily a war team because there's war bonuses that are offered in war, obviously, and not in blitz. So if I'll talk about it when we get down there, but basically, for example, I blitz Shield Coulson, even though I know that the whole Shield Minion for Fury team is better. But I just do that just so I can know their kits. So I'm going to preface this video with that and say if you want to get the best blitz teams, then go ahead. But if you just don't mind blitzing war teams, then do that as well. So let's start off. I have 4 recommendations for who you need to take up to Gear 14 first. That's Ebony Maw, Minerva, Phoenix, and Symbiote Spider-Man, as you can see right here. The first 3 on the left right here all have health drain, which in Dark Dimensions 3 is vital. These are going to be the characters that you're going to want to take into Dark Dimensions 3 first, just because Symbiote Spider-Man was made for Dark Dimensions 3, and he is a great character and he has a lot of self-sustain. So that's why he's up there with those health steals. If there's any future health steal characters, then that's who you probably want to take into Dark Dimensions 3, but I want to start off with that. So for your 5th for Dark Dimensions 3, I would recommend Carnage. The reason why I didn't put him up there at these Gear 14 first is because you kind of need Symbiote Spider-Man first before you go for Carnage. I don't want to recommend Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage on the same level when, without Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage isn't useless, but he's not as good. So that's my Dark Dimensions 3 recommendation. You want to take those characters up to Gear 14 first, because once you beat Dark Dimensions 3, then you will get a whole lot more of gear that will help you take characters up to Gear 14. So this next tier on the list, we have our U7, our Arena, our later challenge characters, like our daily challenges, for example, these type things. So your Gold Rush, your Medical Supply Run, all that stuff. And I believe all these characters will help you get through them. As you can see, we have Venom and Ghost Rider, along with Carnage and Symbiote Spider-Man. That's going to be your Gold Rush shitty team, your Gold Rush City team. And then I have Falcon and Crystal up there, along with Black Bolt and Ultron. That'll be your Blaster team. So you will need one more City and one more Blaster character. A recommendation I would make if you want to cover both of those areas would be Punisher. But if you want to go for a better Blaster or something, a better Blaster would be someone like War Machine or something. A better City character would be someone like Spider-Man Miles. But that's just, I didn't put anyone up there. I'll let you guys pick who you want to do, but if you kind of want to cover that, then that's going to be Punisher for you. But again, the rest of these characters should help you in U7, should help you with those challenges, should help you in Arena. I'll go through my Arena team real quick, who I run every day. I do Phoenix, Ebony Maw, Mr. Sinister, Black Bolt, and Invisible Woman. I know that Black Order is doing really well right now. They're not up here, but you can use them as well. Basically, whoever you feel most confident with Arena is who you should definitely bring up, probably second, and then U7 should be your third when it comes to gearing them up and stuff. Again, you want to get through DD3 first, or get at least your characters ready for DD3, and then you can start bringing your Arena team up to Gear 14 and stuff. So these are probably the characters that you want to keep around Gear 13 or get them up to Gear 14 if you can. So next up, these are our Tier 12 characters. Basically, these are going to be your Gamma Raid characters. If you are having trouble 100%ing the final tier of Gamma Raids or whatever, then go ahead and go for the better characters and level them up to Tier 11. This should hopefully help you be able to clear it. You're not going to need to take these characters to Gear 12, especially if you have, let's say, for example, that, I'm trying to think. So there's an X-Men node, right? Let's say you have Storm and Psylocke at Gear Tier 11, and then you have Phoenix at Gear Tier 13, 14, you should hopefully be able to clear that node. So these are who I would recommend personally, but it's based on who you think is the better of these characters to help you get through the Gamma Raids. It's not super hard to get through, but I would say Tier 11 is a pretty safe spot for that. So next up, we have our War characters. These are the characters that you're going to be using in War mostly, and maybe in Blitz and stuff. We have Corvus and Collapsinian right here. Again, if you want to play them in Arena, you can bring them up to Gear 13 in Arena. The reason why I didn't put them up there is just because I don't personally use them, but I know that they are good. A problem, though, is if you are free to play, that this is... it can be hard to get those characters. And this recommendation is more for free to play people, just so you don't over level up a characters or whatnot. So as you can see, we have all our war characters, basically all, all characters that go into a war team. So you have Daredevil on Defenders, you have Domino on the new X-Force and stuff. Basically, if you're going to use them in war, I would say gear tier 10, level 65 if you're free to play. It's an achievable goal. You can probably get it done in 3 to 4 days. So that's 2 war characters leveled up per week. I just think it's what's best. I do want to preface that we have hand up here. The reason why I have hand in here, not because you're going to use hand in war, but for the Phoenix event and for the hand catalyst event. I would recommend for the Phoenix event, if you are going to use hand assassin and Nobu as opposed to using Hela because you just can't farm her or whatnot, I would say get Nobu definitely up to tier 10, and then hand assassin you could probably leave at tier 9 and be all right. But if you want the safest bet, then tier 10 is probably where to go. But I beat it with tier 9 with a tier 9 hand assassin. But if you just want to be safe to make sure you get her, then I'm not necessarily recommending that, but that's probably where you would want to take them to. But for the hand catalyst event, most of my hand characters were at tier 10. I did not have hand archer. I had hand assassin, hand sentry, hand sorceress, Electra, and Nobu leveled up. They were all about tier 10 level 60, and I was able to beat it that way. I have a video if you want to watch that as well, just to see what my team looked like. But hand archer is definitely the better before hand assassin, so that's why I have them up here. If you go the Hela route to unlock Phoenix as opposed to hand assassin, then that's who I would say. Just so you guys know, Phoenix requires mystic villain controllers. So there's currently 6 in the game. That's Mordo, Ronin, Nobu, Mordo, Nobu, Ronin, Hela, Loki, and hand assassin. So if you don't want to level up hand assassin, hand archer is probably your next best hand for the hand catalyst event. So they're the only real odd ones out in this tier 10 area. And I do want to say that obviously you can take these characters higher, but this is a good starting point. And if you do realize, like, you're like, oh wow, X-Force is really good, and you want to take them higher than this point, then do that. This is just a good base. Make sure, don't get overzealous and be like, I gotta make my war team that great. That happened with a lot of people with Hydra on defense with Red Skull, because no matter what kind of level Inhuman they're facing against, Inhumans take them out pretty easily. So I would just recommend tier 10, and then if you see that a team is doing really good, or you see like Asgardians a lot, the new counter to Asgardians is supposed to be X-Force, so if you see a lot of high level Asgardians, then maybe you want to take your X-Force team up to that. But again, this is just a good base to kind of bring them to, and then maybe work on something else and maybe come back if you need to. So yeah, tier 10 for your war teams. With what's left in this, you should be able to get through Greek raids and stuff along with these tier 11 characters. You don't have to take them all up to tier 11, but just be willing to work on these characters a little bit more just to get through that, because you do want to be 100% in Greek raids with your alliance and stuff. So finally, we have down here our 2 odd men out. I always recommend Ravager Boomer and Ravager Stitcher for the Star-Lord event. I recommend you take them up to tier 8, level 60. Don't put any purple gear on them, because you will have an abundance of blue gear later on in the game. This is the quickest way, I feel, to get Star-Lord unlocked, and it leaves you room to start farming other characters for legendary events and campaign stuff. If you don't want to go this route and you want to go with Guardians, that's perfectly fine. With the better Guardians or the better or Yondu, then that's perfectly fine. But this is where I would take him if I was starting off. I would open Raid Orbs first, just because there is a lot of legendary events, a lot of monthly events that require a lot of those raid characters. So Raid Orbs, you're kind of getting in abundance. But Ravager Boomer, I think the Blitz store is the easiest store to farm people from, and that's who I would recommend, definitely. So if you don't want to do Stitcher, I would definitely still recommend Ravager Boomer. And then down here, we have the characters that I would not tell you guys or recommend you guys to level up. But for example, I was talking about that Blitz thing where I blitz my war teams, but the better Blitz team would the better Blitz Shield Fury team would be instead of Coulson, using Shield Trooper along with Shield Assault, Shield Security, Shield Medic, and Nick Fury, or Shield Operative. But again, I personally like just blitzing Coulson just because. I know some people run Aim Researcher on their Aim Raid team and Gamma. And then you can make an Avengers team out of this. Right now, Avengers really just aren't up to snuff. I would just recommend you're better off leveling up some other teams and stuff. There's plenty of war teams to go around, so Yeah. Sorry if you feel like one of your favorite characters or one of an underrated character is down here. I'm not going to tell someone to take them up to tier 10. I don't think it's worth it. There might be the Ant-Man Wasp event that comes back around, so you want to probably bring them up to tier 9 if that does come around, but that's very rare that they do that. So, yeah. Pretty much all these aren't required for legendaries. They aren't required or a really solid aspect of a war team, so that's why they're down here. So let's go back to the top. Yeah, so again, I would recommend that your first Gear 14s are going to be these 4 people right here. You got the 3 Health Stealers and Spider-Man Symbiote, who was made specifically for Dark Dimensions 3 and Raids, of course, but he's the only one with that DD3 tag, or that Dark Dimensions tag, and then Carnage is going to be your 5th, and then these are other good arena characters as well. If you want to drop Magneto down, I could see Magneto being a maybe just a war character, but I still got love for Magneto, so I don't think you guys will be too upset. He's good in some of those challenge modes and stuff, and some of those challenges and stuff. So that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know where you think I'm wrong. Let me know who needs to be bumped up a little bit higher. I did mention that Black Order, yes, you can take them up. It's not a big deal, but I'm not going to tell you specifically to do that, but they are a valid, person to take up. But I would say these characters are a solid group to bring up to tier 13 and stuff. So that's going to do it for this video. Let me know where I messed up. Let me know where you think I'm right. Let me know if you are going to use this. Let me know if this video made you unsubscribe because you think I'm just a dumbass. But yeah, I'm going to try and do these videos probably 4 times a year, just probably each quarter, to kind of update people on and be like, here's your best Dark Dimensions 3 best Dark Dimensions 3 team. Here's your best, your arena characters, your U7 characters, all that stuff. So I'm going to do that more. So I really do want feedback on all this stuff. But yeah, subscribe to this channel. I do new stuff. I do guides. I do orb openings with my fiance, and just whatever else I feel like. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day.